Welcome back to another video. So today we are back to review some more Chainsaw Man. It's been 2 weeks and Chainsaw Man chapter 148 has finally dropped. And this chapter was amazing. It actually did more things than I thought it was going to do. And we actually got to see the end of this little fight get together. Not with Denji, but with Asa. And I was not expecting that. I was actually expecting more Denji stuff this chapter, but we got half and half, and it was, I think, really good. We even got 17 pages, which is like more than usual, because usually we get 14 to 15 pages. So Fujima was definitely cooking these last 2 weeks, and I think this was a great chapter. But let's get into it. There's a lot of big stuff I want to talk about that are going to definitely like have some implications throughout more of Chainsaw Man. So let's get into it. So the chapter begins where we last left off, where it's basically Denji getting confronted by a bunch of random people. And it's that same old man from the last chapter. And he's like, you don't fool me. Like, you could turn to Chainsaw Man at any moment. Like, I know you. And at this point, I thought he was saying that because he saw Denji transform before. But we actually know from next page that he says disrespectful kids like you all turn into pseudo Chainsaw Man. He's only accusing Denji of being Chainsaw Man because he is a teenager, not because he thinks he's actually like the Chainsaw Man or knows that he's the Chainsaw Man. And so Fumiko's like, yo, wait, we're Republic Safety Hunters. Like, I have proof we're not Chainsaw Man people. And then everyone's thinking irrationally. The guys were like, oh, the agents turned into Chainsaw Man too. Which I don't remember any of the agents turning into Chainsaw Man. I don't remember that at all. I don't remember like the kids and stuff like that. So maybe these people are forsaken the public safety people from the kids from the school, because some kids from the school were like dressed up kind of like with suits and trying to dress up nice. So I'm thinking they're mistaken, because I don't remember any public safety people turning into Chainsaw Man. And basically all these people are thinking irrationally. Even like the bald dude from the last chapter is like, sorry kid, but I need you to show us your chest to give us a peace of mind. And this is when you're like, dang, Denji's not one of the fake Chainsaw Man. He is Chainsaw Man, so he has the rev. And if they see it, they're going to want to kill him. Which is crazy, because Denji's being really nice right now if he wants to. Because these people pose really no threat to him, if they're being honest. Like, he doesn't want to hurt them. They're just people. But they pose no threat to him, and he's basically trying not to do, like, hurt anybody. And right when this happens, the bald man, like, tells Denji to do it. And Denji's like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And then he pulls out a gun out of nowhere, just pulls out a gun and says, show us your chest now. And then Quan Chi could easily like dispatch these guys as well, but they don't want to do any damage to normal innocent people. And so Quan Chi tells Denji, Fumiko, and Naita to run. And then Denji immediately like picks up Naita, and him and Fumiko just start bolting. And the dude's like, yo, you better stop. And then he actually like shoots them, right? And luckily Quan Chi, is fast enough and can react fast enough to where she puts up her arm and like blocks the bullet with her arm. And Fumiko sees that and sees like Quan Chi get hurt. Quan Chi notices that Fumiko's like looking back at her and tells her to just run, like, don't worry about me. And at this point in time, from the last like 2 chapters, I definitely think Fumiko and Quan Chi definitely have some type of a relationship, and have either been in the same division for a minute or like are really close. Like, I think definitely Fumiko is probably part of Quan Chi's like group of women that she likes to have around her, and you can definitely tell Fumiko cares for Quan Chi, has feelings for her. And after this, we actually get to cut away to the most hype part of the chapter. We actually go back to see the Hirofumi versus Asa fight, and we see an arm on the ground, and it actually is Asa's arm. So Hirofumi was able to cut off one of Asa's arms. And then right when that happens, Asa's like saying like, ow, like that hurt. And Hirofumi is surprised. You can see a bunch of sweat on him. That's surprising to me, because if y'all don't know, Hirofumi has some crazy feats in the show. Like, Hirofumi's dummy strong. He was able to keep up with Quan Chi back in part 1. And Hirofumi's like definitely known as one of the strongest people in the show. There's a lot of theories going on right now that Hirofumi might be a disciple of Kishibe in some way. And so he's really strong. Hirofumi's no slouch, or he's pretty good. He's pretty strong. And you can see that he has a lot of sweat on his face. And the reason I think that is not because of, oh, like he's like sad about having to hurt Asa, really. I think it's because he's generally surprised that Asa survived his attack. I think the last chapter, he really tried to like kill her in one blow. And I think that him only getting her arm surprised the hell out of him, because you see like he has sweat on his face, and Hirofumi never has sweat on his face unless he's talking to Denji or is just very surprised. And so right when that happens, Hirofumi calls Octopus to basically seal off Asa, and then Asa screams out room 606 sword, and we see Hirofumi has her like tangled up in an octopus, and you just see that Asa's whole room is gone, her whole section of the building gone. And then we see that she's trapped inside the octopus, and then you see some blood spurts come out, and then you see Yoru come out with the 606 sword. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, this sword looks so fire, bro. Like the way the hilt is, and then it looks kind of like Ichigo's okay, this is some Bleach actually, I'm not gonna say it. This is some random Bleach spoilers. I'm just gonna say it looks like Ichigo's Bankai in the last arc. I'm not gonna show a picture or anything just in case people haven't seen it. Her sword looks like Ichigo's Bankai, and it looks so freaking sick, bro. And then Yoru's like, we turned it into a weapon without even touching it. This is incredible. Our power is increasing because of everything going on right now with basically this war again, like with the fake Chainsaw Man people versus the people of the world. Because remember, this fake Chainsaw Man thing is not happening just in Japan, it's happening all over the world. Technically, this is another war. It's a war between the human race and the fake Chainsaw Man people to the human population, when in reality the war is between the people of Earth versus the Death Devil. That's, in my opinion, the real war that's going on. And Famine is technically on the human side, but she's like doing a lot of like things that are not innocent, like letting people die, killing a lot of people to accomplish her goal to save humanity. She's doing something that's not evil, but it's not good either. Like, I understand why she's doing the thing she is doing, so she can save the world in her vision, save the world from the Death Devil. But it's taking a lot of lives for that to happen, so she's not a good person. And because of all this happening, it's increasing Yoru's power. It's increasing her power of, you know, war. Her power is war. And if you know how devils work in Chainsaw Man, whenever there is war or something that correlates to the devil's power, they get stronger. So if a devil has the power of light, and randomly there's just more light in the world, like there's maybe like 2 suns in the solar system for some reason, then that devil would get stronger because there's more light in the world. And for Yoru, she's the war devil, so since there's more battles and more war, she became stronger. And you see that like in full swing. Like Hirofumi's like ready to fight Asa, like just prepared. Like you see him like stand stuffed and ready. And Yoru just dips past him, like boom, like gone, and ends up hitting the wall. She says this might take some adjustment, and she speed blitzed Hirofumi. She did not touch Hirofumi at all, but as you can see, Hirofumi did not react to her. Like, he didn't react to her until after she hit the wall, because after she hits the wall, she looks back and sees that Hirofumi's gone. So Hirofumi immediately had the fight or flight and dipped, because Asa and Yoru now are on a whole different level. Her being able to speed blitz Hirofumi is a crazy feat, because remember, Hirofumi was keeping up with Quan Chi back in part 1, pre-transform, and keeping up with Quan Chi, one of the strongest people in the show, one of the strongest hand-to-hand combat sword people in the show, is a great feat. So Asa doing this, being able to speed blitz, and if that she actually had control of her speed and was actually able to hit Hirofumi would have died. That's crazy, bro. That means that like Asa's already like reaching like the top power level in the show, like one of the strongest characters in the show, for her being able to do that. And then right after she sees that Hirofumi leaves, she actually like falls off the building and lands on her feet. And then Yoru starts seeing all the bloodshed, all the fire, and she just starts laughing. And she says, "The world remembers me at long last." And she's talking about how everyone now is doing war, so now everyone can remember war, how it is to be in war, and so she's gonna get stronger. And that's crazy that Yoru is already this much stronger after just this whole, like, the whole thing that happened. It makes sense though. It makes sense because remember, the whole thing that happened with the Fire Devil and the Chainsaw Man people is happening all over the world. So if it's happening all over the world, that means there's like a battle slash semi-war around the entire world, which makes sense that because of that, Yoru's getting just way more stronger. But I want to know what's going to happen next chapter, because as you can see, Yoru has no arm. So imagine, because she's getting stronger, because everyone's afraid of war and going into the battle with the Fire Devil, maybe that gives her the ability to regenerate, or she now is able to like bring herself back, because Asa so far has had no major damages like this. She's never lost an arm. She's like gotten scruffs and shit like that, but she's never lost a whole arm. So we're probably gonna see next chapter if she's able to like grow back her arm, or maybe she just gets a robot arm, or she just decides not to have arm, like her right arm at all. But this was a very impressive chapter for Asa and Yoru. Like, that was crazy. I didn't even talk about the fact that this is the last thing I'm gonna talk about for the video. The last thing I'm gonna talk about is that we didn't talk about the fact that she was able to turn the room into her, like turn the room into a sword without touching it. What she did was she said it out loud. She said room 606 sword. She didn't have to touch the room, and it ended up turning into the sword, which is very, very powerful. That's way stronger than Yoru and Asa have been able to do, because usually they have to save the word and then they have to touch it. But now they're able to create weapons without touching it, which is still crazy. But you know, people are probably gonna think like, oh, does that mean she could just instantly turn anybody into a weapon? Remember, she has to own that thing for it to be able to turn into a weapon. So if she has a boyfriend and in her head she claims her boyfriend as hers, she could turn her boyfriend into a weapon. And it's because that's Asa's room and she's claiming 606 as her room, she's able to do that. That doesn't mean she can go to random people and just do it because she doesn't claim them or know them. But if it's people that she knows and she views in herself that she owns them or claims them, she can do it. But this makes her power just way more easier for her, because if she's in a battle and imagine someone breaks her 606 sword, she can just like come up with a new sword or a new weapon on the fly now, instead of having to run around and touch everything for it to become hers. So I also want to know as well, does this weapon immediately come to her? Because remember, when she was trapped in the octopus devil, right, when that happened, it's not like, remember, she didn't touch the room or whatever, it just popped up in front of her. So if she goes out into the world and is like fighting people, right, and she's not by anything that she can like touch or whatever, like she says, because she doesn't have to do that no more. Imagine she's like flagpole sword. Does it automatically just come to her? Like it just like summons like right in front of her? Because if that's the case, that just even boosts her power even more. But oh man, this makes me want to do another video just talking about how Asa is now, like her whole power dynamic in the show now, because I made a bunch of tier lists and videos talking about Asa's power, and I was like, she has a cool power, but she's not super crazy. But this new chapter just showed like crazy feats for her, and like how she might be like she's way stronger now. She's way stronger now than she was a few chapters ago. But I might wait off on it and see what happens next chapter, because we only have to wait a week for next chapter. But oh my god, this chapter was great. Thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and see more content like this, and hit that bell post consistently. And oh my god, I'm so excited for next week's chapter of Chainsaw Man. This chapter definitely did not disappoint. The 2 weeks were definitely worth it. And I'm gonna see you guys next time. Peace.